Oh man, where do I even begin? well, hi. It's, okay, before I even get into it, I just want to apologize for not posting last week. These past 2 weeks have been very brutal for me. I don't even know where to even begin, but I most likely won't go into too much detail. Um, I'm kind of getting out of my funk that I was in of the whole being sad and grieving part. Uh, so yeah, I lost someone who wasn't really like close to me, but they were like a huge chunk of my life. So it's, yeah, crazy. Uh, and then work wise hasn't been any better. We had 4 people walk out on us, so that's been great to deal with. But thankfully, work scheduling is going to change, so that's a plus. And then this past weekend, I was in Arkansas celebrating 1 year of marriage. So that's great. I got, can't even like really see it. I got the new tattoo. So that was a spur of the moment thing, which, that always pans out really great. Uh, yeah, feels like it's just been like nonstop. And I kind of wish it would just stop for a little. Hopefully it will die down a little bit. Anyway, I found some things that I wanted to like talk about. It's called 8 mindset shifts that will change your life. So we'll see. Uh, the first one says this is your life and you're letting other people make you unhappy in your life, which I I can't say anything. I'm very much like a I'm very much a people pleaser. So, yeah, it's unfortunate that I am. I'm working on it. I have kind of stepped back from saying yes all the time. It's been very refreshing, surprisingly. But I'm working on the feeling guilt. Like, I feel guilty when I say no. But I need to start putting me first. You know what I mean? The next one, worrying is like worshiping the problem. How freaking true is that? Because honestly, worrying gets you nowhere. Because you're just going to constantly like overthink and make up scenarios that most likely are not going to happen. So you just kind of like stress yourself out about it. Stop. Stop doing that. Easier said than done. I know. The next one, when you focus on the good gets better. And that's very true. I don't know if you guys believe in like energy or whatever. Obviously, when you focus on negative and you just have constant like negative thoughts, that's what's going to come to you. So just start focusing on the good, even if it's like a bad situation. Turn it into like a positive, you know? So when you start focusing on the good is going to get better. Remember that. Next one. If someone is dumb enough to walk out of your life, let them walk. Actually, hold the door open for them. Let them go. Because clearly they didn't want to be in your life. So why would you like beg and fight for them to stay if they don't want to? It's just going to bring you down in the end. It's going to make you unhappy in the end. Hold the door open for them. Let them go. Next one. Remember how hard you prayed for what you currently have? I am so bad at this. Like, I am one of those that, like, I don't even know how to explain it. Like, I don't even know how to explain it in proper words that will make sense because right now it doesn't even make sense up here of what I'm trying to say. But, yeah. I always think back in a time where I didn't have what I do now, and constantly like, man, I can't wait for this, can't wait for that. And it's like, now that I have it, I feel like I'm not appreciating it enough, which is bad on my end, because I need to appreciate the little things that I have, you know? So always be grateful and thankful for what you have. It could always be worse, because you could have everything and then like that, it's just gone. So what you have currently, appreciate it like that much more. The next one, people would judge you no matter what you do, so you might as well do what makes you happy. Very true. You could even be doing something positively and people will still try to knock you down for it. It's like, I don't know. People online are just so weird. They're very mean too, but they're just overall so weird. I don't get people. I really don't. I don't know. Maybe it's me. And I try not to understand them because it just makes my head hurt. But do what makes you happy, because people are going to talk either way, you know? I think... No, next one. The right doors won't open for you until you are the version of yourself that's supposed to walk through them. Very true. That is very true. And it's also the when one door closes, another door opens type of thing. So kind of think of it like when a door closes on you, like you finished what you were meant to do type of thing. You were meant to go through whatever it is you went through. So now another opportunity is opening up, and you do have a choice to either let those feelings go, leave them at that door before you take them into the new one. So until you are where you are wanting to be, the doors are probably going to stay closed. So it's just, all this really comes down to is just positivity. Remember the good thoughts, the good will get better type thing. So yeah, just try your best to leave the negative and bad behind that closed door. It's going to stay there and it's going to be locked, okay? You got to get through the next one. You got to keep going. You got to keep pushing. The next one, I think this one's the last one. You'll always face situations you think you can't overcome, but every time you do. I was always like that. Whenever I was faced with some kind of hardship, I would constantly be like, I'm not strong enough for this. I don't know how I'm ever gonna make it out of this. But, you know, where there's a will, there's a way. And that has been very true. Thinking back a lot about a lot of the hard situations I was in, like, I could easily ask, like, how did I make it out of that? I don't really have like a solid answer. I just know I kept pushing. I didn't allow myself to sit in those negative thoughts for too long. I kept telling myself, like, I need to get through this. And, you know, I did somehow. I always did. So, just, again, just keep going. You are needed here. You matter. You are enough. Keep pushing forward. You can overcome it. And if it's something physical, let me know. I'll pull up, okay? Yeah. Oh, so this one's probably not going to be a very long video. I feel like physically I feel okay, but like mentally it feels like there's just stuff going on and I don't even know what it is. So yeah, I'm just gonna, I didn't ask a question a few days ago Friday. These are going to be from last week, the ones that I missed, so I'm just going to put them in this video. So I started with, hope you are doing amazing, and I really hope you guys are. And the question is, there's kind of like a few questions with it. It says, do you ever feel alone? Is there anything you do to fight it, or do you give in to the feeling? So choose wisely. This first one, hope you're doing amazing as well. to respond to this, I'm going to reply to it like I'm sitting in front of you slash whoever is reading this. Yes, I feel alone. It's nothing that is said or done, but I'll just get into my head and feel like I can't talk about what's going on. There are times I'll try to fight it and do something, whether I'm blasting music or reach out to a friend. This is where sometimes I give into the feeling. As of lately, I felt the most all alone that I've ever felt. It's slowly become a strict I'm fine or I'm okay and leaving it at that, and then flipping my phone over and laying in bed until I feel like I'm okay enough to just move. It sucks because I know I have 3 amazing friends who will listen and an amazing fiance, but sometimes I just feel like maybe I should just shut up and let them go on without me venting to them. First of all, never shut up. If you... No, not if you. I'm sorry that you feel like you vent too much to the point where you feel like you just don't want to because you feel like you're a burden. You're not. I'm always here. I say it in multiple videos. My DMs are always open. I'm always here. So vent to me. I don't care. I'm here. I'm your friend. Okay? The next one. Just to clarify before I respond, loneliness... I can't read. Loneliness to me is not necessarily having no friends or no one to talk to, because I have a lot of people to talk to and I have great friends. Loneliness to me is not having a person. For example, I am good friends with Leah. That's me. But Leah has her person, her husband. Or for a better reference, one of my friends could have a best friend that they spend most of their time with and it would leave me out, which is totally fine that my friends have their person. I just need to find mine. So yes, I feel alone 99.9% of the time, and I just give into it because I can't do anything to change that. I'll just simply have to wait until the right person comes into my life, and that doesn't have to be a romantic partner, it can be a friend too. Sorry if that was confusing. It's not that it's necessarily confusing. I mean, I get it. Loneliness can mean people along with other things, you know? No, it's not confusing. I'm just confused on how to respond. I'm not good with words. I mean, I get where you're coming from, though. You want... Like, here's you and the friend group. Obviously, you know, Tobias has their person, I have my person, and you feel like you don't have, like, a single person that you can go to, which... I mean, even if you find like a friend that is your person, like you were stating, I don't know. I don't know how to put this in words. Why am I bad at words today? I don't know. I don't know. I told you my mind is like going. I'm trying. I get you want to find your person, but you're still so very young. Live. Make as many friends as possible. And I'm not saying like be fake friends. Obviously, you know, you want to find genuine people to connect with, which, you know, I support that. Do your thing, girl. But I do get that it can be very lonely, because I was there. I was in that spot, you know, where we'll wind it back a little when you had, you know who, and then Tobias had his same person, and then I was just kind of like, hi guys. I mean, I get it. I relate to that, and I hate that you feel that way. But you know, I can be your person too. We can just push Kenzo aside. We can push him aside, okay? I can be your person too. He's gonna watch this and get mad. I don't know. You'll find your person. All right, next one. Reminder before reading this, I'm super duper happy and grateful for all my friends and people who like/care about me. I don't feel alone in a person to person perspective, but I do feel alone with my thoughts in my head, even with people that care and want to help me with those thoughts. Like, I just always have that mindset that you pave your way with everything you do in life, whether it's success, mistakes/failure, choices you make, it's all up to you, and 90% of it you do alone. And I feel as if a lot of the time I'm alone in this battle of trying to become a better person. I look at my wife and see what I can become and who I can be for her, what I can improve on and what I can learn. But also sometimes I just make mistakes and cry in the shower. Oh, no cry, no cry, no cry. Yeah. See, there's like so many different forms of loneliness, and it's so weird. But it all stems back to alone as like a thing. I don't know, alone can mean like millions of things. I get where you're coming from with the whole, I have people around me, but I feel so alone. I've stayed in that state of mind for years. And even when I like had someone to talk to about things, I feel like they couldn't fully relate because they weren't going through it. They were like living their best happy lives. And then there I was just meh. Life. What is life? Yeah. I get it. Your thoughts, and not just like you specifically, like thoughts in general are very, very scary. Especially when you feel like you're stuck alone in them. But, you know, just know there are people around you that you can reach out to. Even if you just be like, hey, you ain't gotta reply, just listen, and hopefully they do. So, I don't know. It'll get better. It'll get better. Again, I'm here, okay? For anyone listening, I am here, okay? Alright, last one. Sometimes I do feel lonely. I have friends. It's just hard not having a person for me, someone to date and maybe even eventually spend my life with. It's a big world and it can be hard to find that person. Typically, I feel fine during the day and sometimes lonely at night. Honestly, think I could cut down on the lonely feeling a bit if I work on my sleep schedule, because sleep does tend to help me feel better. And it also helps me when I go outside the house to read a book and get some exercise. I think the process between finding that one person is where I gotta be content with the single life and be happy with myself first. For me, the self-care does seem to help me feel better. Yeah, growing up, I've always been told, like, if you're not happy with you, you're not going to be happy with anyone. Because if you're not happy with you and you're relying on someone to make you feel loved and happy, like, it's not going to work, because essentially it's just like a one-sided relationship. So it does, like, genuinely help if you are content with you. Like, if you're happy with you and love yourself, you're going to attract people, you know? It's all about energy. And it's so weird, but it's so true. It's just everything is about energy. You attract what you put out there, you know? But yeah, be very content with yourself, and the right person will come along. I don't know if you've ever said your age. I want to assume you're quite young as well. But you still have years to find your person. It doesn't have to be right this second. As much as you want it to be right this second, it's not going to happen that way. So, in the meantime, just work on you and just be happy with you. Okay. So, do I ever feel alone? I would say probably like 75% of the time, which it used to be like a lot higher than that. I've learned to reach out to people, and I've learned to get it in my head that there are people who are willing to be there for me. Could I have said that like a few years ago? No. No. So I do feel alone, but a lot of it is just kind of dates back like a couple weeks where no one else is going through this, so there's really been no one to talk to about it. And so I've been kind of alone in those thoughts, but I'm getting better. I have yet to start journaling because I haven't found my journal. I have an idea where it's at, but I need to find it. Anyway, is there anything you do to fight it, or do you give into the feeling? I don't give into the feeling anymore because I know how dangerous it gets. I've been down that road many, 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 many times of I'm just gonna give into the feeling of being lonely, no one's here, blah blah blah, cry for days on end. It was just not good. So the things that I do to fight it are just honestly throw myself into single player video games and just throw on some music. I'm just there to do me, I'm there to relax. Like, that's how I unwind. And I I kind of like, as I'm playing, I kind of like think about what's going on and kind of make sense of it all, because by the time I'm done, I'm like, hey babe, so blah 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 blah, and it kind of like helps me put it together in a way that makes sense, but also doesn't like cut down what's truly going on. It just, instead of it being jumbled like this, it just kind of like puts it into this. I don't know. So that's kind of what I do to fight it. Like, I take time for me to process it, and then I reach out to somebody. So, yeah. I think that's it though. So, yeah, like I said, I'm feeling a little better. I'm doing a lot better. Past 2 weeks have just been really weird, but it's only up from here, and I just want to take the time to say thank you to my friends for being there. And the biggest thank you of all to my amazing husband. He has helped me as much as he probably didn't want to listen to the situation. He was there, he listened, gave me hugs and a shoulder to cry on, and I don't know. I'm done feeling guilty about it all. What happened has happened. I can't go back and change it. So why do I need to focus on the guilt and the sadness when I could just kind of focus on like the memories and the good parts, which there wasn't a whole lot of, but I just focus on those to just get through it all. So, all right. I hope you guys have a great week. And about the trip that I mentioned, I think 2 weeks ago, yeah, 2 weeks ago when I uploaded, I said I was going to try to vlog. I got a little bit, so that should be up. I'm on a shoot for Wednesday, so be on the lookout for that. If you enjoyed this or found any of this helpful, be sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your day and week, and an even better weekend. I will see you next Monday. Bye.